So tonight, sparring night, Tuesday. Not quite the same as we always do. Normally we have the doghouse, we have 4 or 5 guys coming on me fresh. Tonight, we're switching things up. Obviously, we're still in lockdown here. We're limited to sort of training partners and limited to training at the minute. So as you seen last week, I was sparring with a Muay Thai guys. Garrett's coming down tonight to spar me in the cage. So it's a bit of a different dynamic. Garrett's he's number 7 in the UK Muay Thai. He's only 21, so he's an absolute beast, like up and coming phenom. Like. So it's good, it's perfect. I'm fighting a guy who sort of has that sort of stand-up style, like Garrett. So it's absolutely perfect. So he's coming down. We're probably going to do 4 or 5 5-minute rounds. But I've also got Joe McCogan there in the cage. We're going to do a bit now. I'm emulating Joe's opponent. Joe's emulating my opponent. I mean, we work with each other here. We like to get this in once or twice a week. Just as I say, it's that sort of flow sparring. It's sparring, except without the excess shots to the head. So it's very efficient training. And me and Joe have just been doing this for a long time now. So we have a really good flow together. And like that's the reason we're sort of main training partners, and we're competing at that level that we are as well, because we're getting them purposeful hours in. As I always talk about, it's them purposeful hours. Like, we're not taking them shots to the head, excess. We're already sparring once hard a week, once light a week, so we don't need any more. And this is just keeping that sharpness the whole time. There's Big G in now. Yes, sir. What's up, bro?
Doris got me out of the pram because I was getting married and I couldn't spar. It's like, bro, I'm fighting in 2 weeks' time. What do you mean you're getting married?
That's actually true.
Yeah, I know it's true.
It was 1 week out. The same week I was fighting, he was getting married, and it was Tuesday night, and I was like, Joe, I fucking need spars. You know what I mean? It's my last fucking week.
When you were fighting my wedding, it was like, my fight.
Somebody pulled out, and I was like, Joe, I need you to spar me. It's my last spar here before my fight. He said, get married on the Saturday.
Unbelievable. Right.
As always, video in every round. That's just how we do it. That's how I do it, at least. Like, I have each round studied 2 or 3 times over by the time I come back to spar again. I think that's been, since I started doing that, the level that I've gone up on in my sparring has been crazy. It's always good to have your coaches here to watch, but it's different you being able to watch it back yourself countless times. And then I just send it to all my coaches. My coaches are they're all amazing. They all have so much time for me. Like, they'll watch every spar that I do every week, which is it's a privilege that not a lot of people have. You know what I mean? I have Donner, my box coach, watching it, Joe, my Muay Thai coach, watching it, Shando and Pat, my MMA coaches, watching it. So I can't go wrong. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important to have these all videoed. As you can see, Joe setting up there. Like, at the end of the day, it's just pushing the comfort zone. Like, I'm trying to get the hardest rounds that I can possibly get. Ultimately, that's where the progress is made. You know what I mean? Comfort is the enemy of progress, as they say. And you know what I mean? Like, it's not like I want to come spar the best guys every week. You know what I mean? Sometimes you want to just be comfortable and have like easier rounds, but as I say, like, comfort is the enemy of progress. So we've got 4 more weeks here, 4 more weeks of just pushing that comfort zone, as always. And you always hear, like, you go twice as hard in the days that you're tired, but that is true. Like, it gets to thirsty sometimes when I've put in maybe already over 10 sessions already that week. You're bollocks, but you just have to get through it. Once you get that adrenaline up, you push even harder, and that is where champions are made. Like, that was still 5 5-minute rounds, but it was 60 seconds rest, which is usual what we do. But the difference tonight was I had these guys in rotating during the round. You know what I mean? So I was, for example, doing 2 minutes with Garrett stand up, and then Joe was jumping on me, putting me against the fence, taking me down. I was defending for say a minute, and then back in with Garrett for a minute, back in with Joe for a minute. Once I start getting towards closer to the fight, the sessions will taper down a little bit more. To be honest, I absolutely love fight week, and the reason I love fight week so much is because I'm only training like maybe 3 or 4 times. I've got so much time to myself to do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? Catch up and sleep, read, go do whatever I want to do, zone out for a second and get that balance right. So by the time fight night comes, I'm just firing and ready to go, which is very important. People burn themselves out, and it takes confidence to do that. It takes confidence to know when to rest. Some guys in fight will be training every day, twice a day, and the reason that is because they're nervous. They don't know what else to be at with themselves. Whereas when it comes to that point, the work's done, and I'm happy to just chill. The last fight I was a little bit annoyed after, thinking that was not a boring performance, but that I didn't show my whole skill set, or that it wasn't too exciting. But the more that I've watched that fight back, the more impressed that I was with myself and with my performance. Mostly because of my composure. My composure that night was amazing. There was no excess energy wasted for no reason. The takedowns were perfectly timed. The strikes were timed perfectly. And then as I got that finish at the end, I grinded them out, and when the finish presented itself, I took it. So as I said on the lead up to that last fight as well, like, my killer instinct is just it's just something I have. I don't think everybody's born with it. I really don't. Maybe you can develop it, but I've just always had that. As you've seen from all my pro fights, all my fights have been finishes. Anytime I've got a sniff, like the last one, as soon as I got that back, the fight was finished. And as you've seen with other fights with KOs and things like that, that killer instinct's there. So that gives me great confidence going into fights, knowing that I can be composed like the last one, and I can be relaxed, play my game, and if I get a sniff of that finish, then I'll take it. In Belfast here, we've got serious up and coming talent, and then obviously guys that have been around the game like Joe, old guys, you know, the legends of the sport, you know. And then you got the up and comers like Garth, and like we're all in sort of same circles. So I mean, Belfast, the combat scene in Belfast, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA is booming at the minute, and we all sort of help each other here, as you've seen tonight. Like G's coming down to help me, and there could be a time in the future where I'll have to return the favour, like so. You know what I mean? You scratch my back.
£200 a round it was, by the way, but I don't do it for free. Fuck out there.
But if he wins the round, then I don't have to pay him. So I don't have to pay him. I don't have to pay him. No, not if I win the rounds. You're not 34, are you?
What are you going to do? Are you 34, Joe?
I'll have 100 mil in the bank. Retired, fat, smoking joints every day. No. Cut.
34, Joe.
A few more zeros in the bank, that'll settle down like Joe.